Hey, it's Big Jeff from BigJeffAudio.com doing another unboxing.
This way you can see it before you buy it.
And yes, I keep saying in this video, there's a ton of new B2 audio stuff, and we were blessed to become one of the distributors, online sellers, and help marketing the rebirth of B2 Audio USA. So we're talking about the Rage. Yeah, it is not a $100 woofer for sure, and we're gonna talk about that. And in this video, we're gonna break it down, unboxing, and then we're gonna get it on the old flex test and play around with it, which I know y'all love to see. This here though, why is it just under $600? Is it worth that? Well, I can tell you B2 Audio makes some crazy good stuff, right? And a lot of this, you can't say it's an Alibaba with a name on it. Jay Holmes has been designing product for B2 Audio for years. And there is a sect. So we go Riots, Rage, Rage XL, Rampage, and then the handmade X2Cs. Okay, now there's been other woofers in the past, I think X3Ms and all types, but we're talking about all the new stuff. And this is the Rage version 4. What is the biggest deal from version 3? Well, first thing is the surround. It is super tall, and I wish I had an older one here to show you, but take my word for it, this surround is weird.
It's just different. Look.
To me, because it's not this big bubble, it is tall, and we're gonna get us up close and personal. This right here, I think is $579.95. It is a 6,000 watt peak, rated at 2,000 watts RMS, but let me tell you, that is a conservative rating. Okay, you can see this thing is a beast, and we're going to go over some stuff about it. One, this here from the factory, let's see, everybody always concerned about parameters. FS of 26.9 hertz. Frequency response is 10 hertz to 500 hertz, so it plays pretty low. Sensitivity is 86.1 dB. Okay, net weight is 20 kilograms. Kilograms, 2.2 times that. So this is over 40 pounds. It is a heavy woofer. And looking on the B2 Audio USA site, it says 20 pounds, but I think they meant to be the 40 plus. So we'll make sure to get that fixed up. But I can tell you for sure this thing is not 20 pounds. I just picked it up and put it on here. Mounting depth, 8.85. Yep, total depth 9 inches, overall diameter 12.24, pretty big. Baffle cutout 11.1. It is rated, these do come in a dual 2 and dual 4 ohm impedance. Okay, we talked about sensitivity. This is a 3-inch voice coil, and the motor assembly is 630 ounces. Now that we got the regular specs, let's look at a couple things here. First thing I want to know is these big giant push terminals, and they will fit 4 gauge. And for the people that are probably going to comment, no way, those are 8 gauge. I got a piece of 4 gauge here, and I'm just going to twist it up pretty simple and put it right in. No problem at all. 4 gauge for sure. I don't know who's running 4 gauge to the subwoofers, but if you can, then you will. So for sure, 8 gauge. I really wouldn't go under 12 gauge, especially if you're going to put a real 2,000 watts to each one. But if you do have the wire and you have the money, go big or go home.
Go big or go home.
Okay, so we got past that. In here is a red spider.
Some sort of red spider.
There is dual tinsel leads, which we'll get a close-up. I'm just going around all the basics. Kind of cool design basket. I know I'm starting to see a lot of these baskets like it now, but I can tell you B2 Audio has been running a basket design like this for some time now. So there's only so many baskets you can make, and if people reuse that, I mean, who cares, right? Okay, up top I'm looking at a carbon fiber dust cap. I'll tilt it a little forward. Yes, that is really cool. Double stitch surround, and I just love this piece. Now, there is a trim ring here, and this is a common problem, and do not message in, oh, it came broke. It doesn't. I'll show you the box it comes in. The box is actually triple box, big foam on top, and a huge piece on the bottom. It did not come to you broken. How it comes broken is people go ahead and mount these down in their box and they over tighten this portion here with this on and crack it. So the object is to take these screws off, pull this plate off, then screw your woofer in, then put the plate back on. When you put the plate back on, don't over tighten these. This is just a finishing plate. You over tighten it, you will crack it. It happens. Are there replacements? Yes, but why waste money and just take your time and do it right? And you're tightening the woofer down under the plate. Do not do it through here, and definitely be careful when you put this back on. Real nice look. I really like everything about this with the red spider. It does have a, looks like a torque set for the ring that actually, not just that the spider is glued, there is actually a ring to hold that down. Okay, coil is completely exposed. Let's go ahead and turn on the up close and personal.
Up close
Love
and
this
personal.
new camera.
Engaged.
I get this right? Nope, a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so up close and personal, you see the red spider, you see the dual titillate. Some people might say, oh, 600 bucks, that should be bigger. This is built very efficient. There is a huge, I forgot what they call them. Those are where you throw the Lucky Charms things, whatever, man, I can't even remember right now, but you have this here. Let's go back to the up close and personal. This is actually bent that way to allow for the movement of the spider and the excursion, okay? And then in there, you can see this high temp coil completely exposed. What does that tell me? Well, this thing probably cools pretty good having that wide open like it is. You can see the motor structure bolted in. You can see this ring I was talking about. And then look at this. Carbon fiber. I love it. Beautiful look. Tall surround. Let's turn that off and turn on the big Jeff cam, which will give you a little better here. Look at this surround I'm talking about. So it's kind of like it's thin or tall. I like the look. Just shows me there's going to a lot of the excursion. Yes, it is already somewhat soft. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You're going to break it in anyway. Jay obviously didn't design it to be too tight. Still pretty efficient. Something this big is still does its job at 2,000 watts. So you know what? If you want to cut some money on the amp and you want to stick B2, the Riot 2500 to each one, no problem at all. That does 2,500 watts at 1 ohm. Or if you want to go bigger, you can go with one of the possibly Rage 2300. That's kind of expensive. Or step up into the 06. Yes, a little over $1,000, but that amp would move 2 of these. I mean, man, that'd be an awesome setup if you had the cash flow. What is the step up from here? Is the Rage XL. Bigger, beefier, more power. That is also a $1,000 woofer, and we're gonna do an unboxing on that. But this is the step up from Riot. So the Riot series, your 750 watt, 1,000 watt subwoofer. Then you go to your Rage, which is obviously in the 2,000. Well, what size Rage is Rage 8? There's a Rage 12, there's a Rage 15. So there's different Rages. No, they don't have a Rage 10, but they did just come out with a Riot 10. Really cool. We're gonna do a video on that. So this is definitely not your inexpensive everyday, but it is your guy that's serious about it every day. I would definitely put a set of these and might even do one in my BMW for an everyday use. I've already heard these. Very efficient. 2,000 watts all day will move the hell out of it. You're going to see that later. Good response. I just think it's clean looking. I love the white. I like the red. I like the black. Obviously, that's even big Jeff audio colors. So that was a match. And let's take a look underneath this magnet here, or motor, whatever you want to call it. Let's turn the big Jeff cam back on. Okay, you know, you got the B2 audio in there. You have portholes. You can see this part and it's beveled. And then I'm gonna grab the up close and personal one more time. Up close and personal. I'm gonna have to mark this so I can just get it right the first time. And let's go all the way in. How often do you see that car audio? Well, kind of hard to see because that's obviously looking up through the coil to the bottom of that carbon fiber dust cap. And that's what you're seeing is carbon fiber. Milled holes. Pull it out slow, and you can see it's beveled. I'm sure that was designed with helping vent and we can't get in there, but you can kind of see those are actual portholes. You can see those are milled out too. And in the hole, you can actually see all the way up to the coil. Really cool. Okay, so I got a lot of guys that have been writing, some guys that are gonna be competing this year with the Rages. Why? Because it's a good 2,000 watt sub to have some good output, and you know, it's in that price range they can handle. What do I compare with? I'm not gonna compare it to anything. There's a lot of brands out there that have good product, bad product. It's on what you're looking for, the look, the sound, the price. Can you find other stuff less expensive? Yeah, of course. I mean, guys are doing all day long, but I mean, if you want some longevity, there are recone kits coming for these. So besides the manufacturer's warranty, if something came wrong from the factory, you would have to recone it. But we also are doing repairs now at Big Jeff Audio in-house, so whatever the equipment is. And I would always recommend something like this, if you're gonna spend money, we offer CPS extended and accidental coverage. What is the difference? Extended warranties suck. You're basically buying a warranty that doesn't even start till the manufacturer's warranty is up, which means if you have a 1 year there, you can't even make a claim till after a year, and they have all this red tape. Accidental coverage means even if I put a hole in this, drill it into my box, instead of me writing in the Big Jeff CSR team and saying, oh, it came with a hole in it, I don't know why, which I still to this day don't know why people even try that. You could actually run, after 31 days of purchase, a claim through CPS. They will repair or replace. Yes, there's some paperwork and all that, but some of those extended are like 20, 30, 40 bucks. It's worth it because chances are good over time, if you're competing, you're gonna blow this thing up.
Yes, you will.
And if they're gonna cover fixing it, then it's probably worth it. Now, will you blow it up? No, I mean, I've got some systems that were years old. If it is properly tuned and you're not overdoing it and you're not drunk bass knobbing, you'll tune it in. This thing should work for the life of the car and then some.
Yes.
But if you're competing and you're pushing it and you're doing demos and hair tricks and everything else, yeah, chances are good you're gonna take it to the point of no return and just be ready. That's why this hobby is not cheap.
Not cheap.
But if you're doing this not as a hobby and just because you love music, then you should have no problem. But there are recone kits. Those will be in March. Why March? Well, the version 3s are still some available, but it's a different surround. Will it work with this? Yes, but if you have two speakers, one's gonna look different than the other. That's up to you, but in March we should have all new recones and diaphragms. So working on that with B2 Audio. So listen, this is what we're gonna do next. So I know people do flex testing and free air, and that's really not a good way to test the woofer, and I agree, but the free air is kind of cool. You get to see it move, you get to see the excursion, kind of see how much power you can put through it, and then, you know, put it in a properly built box, it's gonna be that much better. So I went a little step further. Instead of just sitting out, we used an old network rack and built the top to it, pin it down. Actually, I'm gonna give a shout out to Def Bombs for that, because I saw they had something like that, not the rack, but they built something like that, and I was like, that's a great idea. So that's where I got it. So we're gonna get this hooked up. We're gonna put some power through it. I'll hook up the SMD AM1 so you can see how much power. We're gonna get some of that real cool whoop, 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 and run some tones through it. And then hopefully this might be your next sub, either the Rage, and then one day you might step up to the Rage XL. Now, if you did do the Rage XL later down the road and you did 0.6 on these, the 0.6 should still be enough power. Keep that in mind. That is a nice Korean amp. Dynamically, which I know I've seen in the comments, oh, you'll never get that in real life. Yeah, if you're going in the lanes and you're burping, yeah, you're gonna get that. I'm thinking it's great amp. It does the 6,000 plus, but there's other options, and check that out on bigjeffaudio.com, or if you just want to buy directly from the manufacturer, that's fine too. b2audiousa.com. So listen, Movie Magic, I'm gonna be right back and take care of this and hook it up to this thing right here, and we're gonna have some fun. I'm Big Jeff. Make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, you can leave one at the end, and share this out. If you're watching on Facebook, like and follow us on YouTube if you haven't subscribed to us. This is what we do it for. It doesn't cost you a dime. Just do it now. I appreciate it. Even if you don't like me, help support the videos. I'm Big Jeff with Movie Magic. We'll be right back. Okay, Movie Magic, we're back. So I got the Rage version 4 with that new surround in the flex test. The flex test. The flex test. The flex test. All right, so I got the SMD IM SG1 here, so we can emit some tone. That's the only thing I hate is they shut off too fast. I'm gonna use them, I'm gonna turn them back on. I got, from LAF, a heavy duty bass knob for Big Jeff that I still like playing with. We have it mounted. And then I have my FLIR that we're gonna get some video of this. And then we're gonna see how much this thing moves, because this thing moves. Let me tell you. I was playing with it and this thing just moves. And you guys like seeing that in the slowdown. And I'm gonna do like I did on one. I'm gonna put the tape measure so you can kind of see how much it actually moves. So I'm gonna do this so you can kind of see how much this thing is actually moving. And then now I understand why Jay said he wanted on the version 4 to change that surround. There's a lot of movement. So we'll get some close-ups, work with me. This is the Rage 12. This is a dual 1 ohm, okay? And then I actually have it wired down technically half ohm just because when you're doing free air, the impedance really jumps and rises, which is pretty crazy. So when I was playing with it up in that 35 range, it was going as high as like 8 or 9. So that's why I have it down low, because it's gonna come up majorly anyway. So I hate free air tests. It's really not anything to even put toward the box or what. It's just so you can see how this thing flexes. Also, we're gonna check some temperature playing with it, and we'll go from there, man. Just cool video, right? Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this
Get ready to rumble!
bad boy on here, and I'm gonna start at about 20 hertz. And you can see this thing's already jumping pretty good at 20 hertz. Okay, I'm gonna come up. Here we go. So now I'm at 29 hertz. You can see because of the frames per second, how the camera, and you can see this is live, right? That's the frames per second. Oh, sorry about that. And I'm gonna come up a little bit higher. Now we're at 34 hertz. I still don't even have it really cranked up yet, but we got some serious movement. Okay, 40 hertz. 45. You can see as we go up. All right, so I'm gonna go back down to really get this thing moving at 30 hertz. So we're right at 30. I'm giving it more power now. Yeah. Oh man, I knocked it. Wow, that thing is moving. Right now, just playing around with it, monkeying around. We're at the coil 90 degrees. I'm gonna show the Big Jeff cam here so you can see what I'm seeing. So right there, you can see the coil there, and you can see it's wide open, so there's tons of air going there. But just playing it around, it says 88.4 degrees. Okay, let's go back. I'm gonna get the tape measure ready this time. All right, so we're gonna get an idea. You ready? You can really see how much that's moving now. Wow. Okay, hold on. That tape measure is not how I really wanted to do it, but let's change frequency. Let's go a little lower. Let's go down to 27 hertz. Oh yeah, you can see when I put some power. Look at that thing go. Okay, so let's see how much we raised at all. Okay, 92 degrees, so just a few degrees. Let's keep her going. Now I'll tell you what, just looking at this thing and all this movement is sick. Yeah, that's better. Here we go. Let me show it this way. There you go. Look at that. Man, this thing's pounding. Okay, what you can't see, maybe if we change the camera, this one, I'm gonna turn it back up about the volume it was. It's moving, and you're not seeing that on the close-up. So I'm turning it back up right now. There you go. That thing is moving. Yeah, it is. Okay, okay. So, I mean, we're moving this thing, and let me get back here. Big Jeff cam. 89 degrees. I mean, you can see it right there, hopefully. Yeah, it says 89. So, I mean, it's cooling itself off. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna let this go. We're gonna go a little bit higher. So let's just go up to 40 hertz. Let's get the close up again. So we're at 40 hertz right now. And you can see the movement is big difference when you're changing the frequency and actually the speed. Let me turn this up. Okay. Big Jeff cam. Coil is starting to heat up. It's moving in there, and that's wide open. So we're about right at 100. Let me tell you, this thing is moving. Okay, back to here. Let's see, 115, 116. Okay, so we got this thing big time moving. The SMD just shut off. Got to change that battery. Notice how much movement. So don't kill me, but bass is basically a movement of air, right? It's non-directional. That's why in home audio you get gains by putting it in the corner of a building, in the car, you know, which way you fire it. Okay, so we direction based. That's one. So the more air you move, technically the more bass you can make. The other thing too is that the speaker has to be not just the efficient of the amount of power it takes, but also the response, right? It's got to move fast. So this is what this thing is doing. Right now, it's right at 102 degrees. So, and really the speakers aren't made just to run a steady tone like that. We could do basically sweeps. 57 hertz, 60 hertz. And you can see as we get lower, 51 hertz, and let's go all the way down. I'm gonna give some power now. There we go, look at that baby. 27, 25, 20 hertz. Oh yeah, this thing is jumping. You can't see it, but this whole thing is moving right here. You can see it right about there. It's just going crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna get on the Big Jeff cam. Big Jeff cam, okay? And then what I'm gonna try to do, you can see from top, I'm gonna sweep this a little bit. Going lower. Whoa! Yeah, baby. Higher. Okay, okay. All right, man, that was real fun. You know, doing it like this, it's really not the way. Let me shut this off to do that. It's a free air environment. That's not what they're really built for. We're sitting at 101, so we've gone up to about 104 and down, and I'm sure if I pushed it even further, where we would be, but you can see the excursion on it. That thing was cooking. It's a great sub. If it's in that price range, which is, you know, $500 to $600, you're not gonna go wrong. I like the Rage. Rage XL is just the XL version. It's double the power, double the size, but The Riot's your everydayers, but I think the Rage, you'd be happy with this, that you could even kind of, you know, compete a little bit with it. You don't need a million watts. Obviously, solid 1,500, 2,000 watts for every day. And if you were really going to get on it, I'd have something where you had at least 2,500. I'd like to do this with a Riot RGB amp, the 2,500.1, on each one. I think it'd be cool. Or like I said, the 06 on 2 of them for sure. So, all right, listen, I hate the flex test, but they're just cool to watch. So that's what it was. That's the Rage series version 4 12-inch. They're in stock. You can get a dual 2 or a dual 4 at bigjeffaudio.com. So I hope you liked the video. I know these aren't the best. What I would like to do later on, once we catch up with all the products, is probably put this actually in a box. But then the problem with that is, how can you really tell what it does? But maybe we will use like the Term Lab or the SPL Lab. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But if you got some ideas, put them in the comments. I'd love to do it. I'd love to show you what you guys want to see or want to watch, because it's all about you all, not me. But anyway, hit that like button, leave a comment, be nice, share this out, follow, subscribe, do the works. And man, check out Big Jeff Audio and representing B2 Audio USA. I'm Big Jeff, wrapping up another unboxing and flex test. I'll see you on the next one.